hype. Yes, I see you being hyped. Hello everybody and welcome to the first post-released Twitch stream for Dungeons 2. Let me first of all state we had a great launch and thank you all for giving us so welcome and positive reviews and for all your feedback that you've already posted on the forums. That is really helpful. Also, let me state that we have just pushed live the first real patch for the game, which introduces a lot of small fixes, I'd say, but which have tremendous effect. For example, we have more support for 21 to 9 resolutions. We fixed the connection to server lost stuff that some of you were experiencing, and a lot of small other things as well, like Linux save games not working. That should now be fixed. There was a lot of stuff that was hindering performance on Mac and Linux. That has now been improved as well. And I love your feedback on the forums, on the Steam forums and on the Kalypso Media forum for that as well. The patch has the version number 1.1.36. Don't be confused. Yes, the last one was 1.1.6, but the last number is actually what we are increasing anyhow, just consecutively. So the next one might be, I don't know, 5.4 or something like that. But actually the next patch that we are aiming at is the patch 1.2, so a little bigger patch, which will be due, or we plan to do that next week, late next week, which will bring a lot of small improvements and big improvements. I can't talk about them yet because you'll be disappointed if we then don't put them into the game, but but you'll see. I'll be quick to bring them into the Steam forums as well. I'll run down the tone here a little bit because it's really loud here on my headphones there. Okay, that's nice. Okay, feeling way better. So, yeah, so again, thank you very much for all the feedback. It is tremendously important to us. Rest assured that we are reading everything that you are posting. And of course we can't really promise that we are going to put everything that you post into the threads there into our game, but we will listen to everything and let you know when we put something into the game. So today, what are we doing today? Today I'd like to give you some small hints and tips about the game and what you can do, what you might not have seen until now. We call this hints and tips, a hints and tips Twitch stream, and yeah, let's see what we can do. So I have pre-built a dungeon here. Pretty big. I have started a skirmish map here, which I started with lots of gold, and on the third dungeon level, so I have pretty much unlocked everything, so I can show you a lot of stuff here. I have already upgraded a lot of units here. You see there is a troll rock thrower gulping down some beer. There's an orc ironhide here, orc chieftain running around here, and also a troll juggernaut, which I really like. He's plummeting here around. I have lots of toolboxes at my disposal. I have some arenas where some units are upgrading at the moment. Lots of mana, which I must admit I have cheated myself to. And also lots of gold that I have cheated myself to. But just for the sake of showing you lots of things here. So for all of you that are pretty new to the game or haven't yet seen so much of the game, Dungeons 2 is a dungeon management game, and you start pretty much every game with the throne room, which is this nice big room here. You have the ultimate evil, or the essence of the ultimate evil, sitting on his throne room here, and using his like ghostly hand to pick up minions, throw them around, slap them,
your dungeon.
and basically doing all the stuff that he needs to do. You can dig out your dungeon anywhere you like. You can build a little room here, or you can dig out gold here, and you can of course lay down room tiles. For example, this treasury that I've just built here, and of course you need resources like gold. Gold is like dispersed throughout the dungeon in small and big gold veins. This one is a big gold vein. This will last a long time. And your snots, your little worker units, which is this little fellow here. Hi. Sniffle the snot. They will be quick to gather gold and bring them to your treasuries or to your dungeon throne level here, as they just did. So, of course, in excess to gold, you also need mana, which is this here. You need mana crystal and crystal chamber around it to gather it, and that's where one of the first units comes in. That is a Naga unit. The Nagas, which one of them is healing right here now. Naga Minaj, very nice. They are like the ranged fighters, and of course also the mana gatherers. They will come here and gather mana here. And then of course we have the goblins here, like Nixie the Productive here. They are working here in the Tinkerer's Cave, working on the Creator Mates, as we call it, these little machines here. And they are producing toolboxes that you need for upgrading, or researching upgraded buildings, or new buildings, or traps and doors and stuff like that, and also for building traps and doors, like this one's. Like, there's a variety of traps in here, and I'll be quick to show you how they are used in a moment. Well, let's run down the stuff in the dungeon a little bit more. All your units also need beer. Pick up beer here and give it to your units. There's an achievement here, gulping down some of it. And of course, if you want beer and you don't get it, you'll get angry.
Payday.
And if you don't get paid, you'll also get angry. And once your units will get angry, they will wander to your throne room and be quick to go on strike. So they will not produce anything more when they go on strike. So better keep your units at bay. You see, most of the missions in Dungeons 2 include going to the outside and destroying whatever is left of the goody-goody do-gooders of the Alliance. And they will eventually send lots of units into your dungeon and try to destroy your pit of bottomless evil, whatever you call this glowy thingy here in the middle of the room. Yes, so you need to be sure that your dungeon is well protected, and for that you have a lot of traps at your disposal. The trick, however, is to combine traps as best as you can. So, for example, this one is a thresher, right? As you can clearly see, it has a 3x3 square around it where it does damage to enemies walking nearby, and a little black dots between those, or next to the thresher, that are tar pits that I've laid down, and they slow down units. So while units come in here and walk past the thresher, they would assumedly want to do that as quickly as possible to not get any damage. And the tar pits actually slow them down, so the thresher can do maximum damage while the units are walking past them. This is just one of the earlier connections of traps that you can do. Another thing that you can build early on is like this this exploding treasure chest, right? Like, units will come into your dungeon, and of course they are heroes. They are not very smart, and they are out for gold. They're out for gold, and of course a treasure chest like this with like, hey, here is gold in their sign on it, will be tremendously interesting for the heroes. So they will start to wander into a dungeon and directly go at this treasure chest and try to open it, and when it explodes they'll get lots of damage. The interesting thing about the treasure chest actually is that it overrides what the bard does. So when units come into a dungeon, and I think we will see that soon enough when they come from the overworld,
It's payday.
most of the time they'll have a bard with them. I'll show you once one of them comes in here. A bard will actually the bard is the only unit that can disable traps, and to me he's very, very annoying, because he basically, like, disabling the traps can kind of fault your whole strategy of defending your dungeon. But with the treasure chest, it is the way that the heroes are so eager to get to the treasure chest that they will not wait for the bard to disarm the traps. So the treasure chest will actually explode while the bard is still working to get the traps disarmed, which will give you a strategic advancement. Same for the rolling boulder trap here. Like, the rolling boulder trap is so quick. Oh, nice, very good. The rolling boulder trap is so quick when units come in that it actually hits the bard and the units around it before he can even get to disarming the boulder trap or any other traps. But of course they don't do enough damage to destroy all the units around them if most of the units are like tier 2 or tier 3 units from the Alliance. So you need to set up like 2 or 3 consecutive rooms of traps, and of course sometimes get your units going into the fray as well, to hinder an attack from the Alliance. Okay, let's see, what else have we? Like, there are lots of small quirks in the game that are hard to get if you're not very deep into the game. Like, for example, there's this brainwashing spell that you have, and that is actually useful if your units go on strike. They will stop to go on strike and just do their work again. The brainwash spell lowers the amount of the boredom. It lowers the boredom and the amount of money they get. So if and of course the thirst. So the how much beer they want. So while you can use the brainwashing spell to let your units end the strike, you can also use it while they are still producing, so that they won't go and even go away from their post to get their pay or their beer or stuff like that. So you see that Golasco G here, he has like 10% boredom, which is fine. He has 28% thirst, so he's not very thirsty at the moment. He's got a wage of 120, which will not be altered anyway.
Once he remembered exactly what the ultimate evil would do to him, the idea was quickly shelved.
And of course he's not very enraged, because he can practically free anything, like get everything like being outside, like in my dungeon at the moment. But I want him to consecutively and all the time work in my Hellforge here, right? So I don't want him to get more thirst and stuff like that. So I can just use the brainwash spell, and he's practically back to 0% boredom and 0% thirst. Very nice. You can use that to keep a single unit or a small percentage of your units on the spot all the time. So there are some enemies here. Bam. That's for half of the units. The tar trap stops down the druid here, and she's gone. And same with this one here, you see that she actually walks past everything here because she has the ability to be invisible. And she actually has a very toxic spell, so I'll get my Naga out of the way here and shove in, for example, like this, the Orc,
Enemies have
and maybe
entered
the
the
Troll Rock
dungeon.
Thrower here as well. So much for the attack there, but there's a bigger one coming in here. My Threshers do a lot of damage here. Next one is the exploding treasure chest. But you see that I can't really upgrade all the traps or repair them. The boulder trap does his damage as well, shoving them back into the Thresher, the upgraded Thresher here. And that will be the death of him, I think. Yes, there's it. And now only the 2 units that can be invincible through traps, or invisible through traps, are still left. my snots are running around here. They want to repair the traps, but they are so afraid of these enemies that they'll not get to the trap. So I better use some of my units here to get rid of those. Maybe this Orc Ironhide as well. Yeah. So that will be the end of those units. An interesting thing that most people don't see, or because it's not really deeply explained in anything that we have put into game as of yet, you can actually hold down the space key to see all of the health and energy buttons of your units at a time, and also the health of your bottomless pit, like the throne room. That I saw on the forums that there is a people didn't know this, and I can't blame them because we never explained this. But now you know. Okay, what next to show? Okay, traps are a nice dungeon defense, right? But attacks are also a resource in terms of experience points. Like, your units should fight with the traps, and then you get both. Like, you get the advantage of having the traps as your defense, but if you use the units at the same time, they will level up experience points, which they wouldn't if only the traps would kill the enemies. So try to use a good balance between your units and your traps to defend the enemy. Right, you see that troll, my Hellforge is not producing anything here. I should to Ganuchi here and get him to work on something. What a lot of people underestimate is the idea that, okay, he wants to do something else, but he'll come back eventually. What a lot of people underestimate is the fact that you can really upgrade each and any unit a lot of times. Not only with the 2 great upgrades, bigger upgrades, but also with the small upgrades that you have in the game, like that you can do in the Hellforge. And one of the most important things is to encourage little snots. Once you go to dungeon level 2 or dungeon level 3, your snots will have a lot of work to do, like keeping all your units stocked up with beer. They should mine gold all the time. They should get new rooms running. So it is very important for them to be as quick as possible with this. So I have already researched Encourage Little Snots 1 and 2, but I'll do the third one as well to get them as fast as possible. Once one of my trolls will have the courtesy of producing something. Speaking of updates or upgrades for units, let me get one of these rid and then get a new orc here. Like, I saw on the forums that it is sometimes
It's payday.
oh, what is the Ghost-like Snot upgrade? I can answer this. The Ghost-like Snot upgrade is Inspicious Little Snots, which is actually telling, well, making your units, your snots, invisible to enemy units, so they can actually sneak past the enemy units and upgrade or repair traps and stuff like that. There's the question for hotkeys for spells. Hotkeys for spells are already in the game. You can press the numpad keys 1 to 0, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, to use the spells. Like 1 is they create a horde, 2 is panic retreat, 3 is lightning bolt, 4 is for the horde, and so on. So use the numpad, guys. It will help you a lot. Yeah, where were? So the upgrading. Okay, so I have this basic orc here, right? And I saw on the forums that a lot of people didn't really get quickly how the upgrade process is actually going. How that is done. Actually, you take a basic unit like this orc, put it on the arena, which you have built previously, and then you actually have to do another step and then tell him what to upgrade. Otherwise, he will just continue to earn XP by training in the arena. So I'll just tell him to upgrade into an orc ironhide. Oh, doesn't he do this? He should do this. Oh, I don't have enough population points, right. Let's see. I'll get rid of those. And maybe one of the snots as well. Can trade them later on. So, go away. So, orc ironhide, and then you'll see this little icon change here from like the university hat here to the face of the orc ironhide. And once you see that and see the progress on that going, then it's actually upgrading. We will do some improvements to that process in the next couple of patches, but that's it how it is at the moment. Oh, auto-saving now in the game. It takes a little while, but we think that is worth the stuff. So something that people requested was that with the release version of the game, if your game crashed, then a lot of times you will have lost a lot of the progress. There was auto-saving in the game, but it would only auto-save if you leave a mission or if something else happened. And now it actually saves, I don't know the exact interval, but I think it is something between 15 minutes and 30 minutes.
Payday.
So yeah, that is something that we implemented with the patch that went live today. Okay, so yeah, where were we? So that was the upgrade process, right? And until now, it is the way that you can either upgrade your basic units into, for example, the orc into an orc chieftain or into an orc ironhide, and then if that's done, it can really go into another tier as well. But we are thinking of changing that so that once you have an orc ironhide, you can still use it to go back to an orc chieftain and the other way around, so you have maximum freedom in how to build up your army. I hope that will do a lot of stuff for a lot of people. Yeah, better autosave is it. Okay, what else have we? Let's see. Okay, so I can't really know. I don't really know why my troll is nothing doing here. So come on. He's getting something. Okay. So you see, orcs are very slow. No, orcs. Trolls are very slow units, right? And if they have like needs or boredom or want some beer, stuff like that, they will take a long time to walk through your dungeon, get their gold, get their beer, and then walk back to the Hellforge, wherever that is placed. So you can actually start a research called Troll's Blood, which will regenerate their health over time, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but if you know that you can practically get down boredom of each and any unit when you slap them, then that makes a lot of sense. So you can just put him here on the Hellforge. He will start like producing stuff. For example, now like producing like the new upgrade to the Troll Blood, and eventually he'll build up boredom, of course. But you can slap him all the time. He will take some damage, but his boredom will go down. And because he has this Troll Blood upgrade, his health will regenerate over time, so you can practically get him to stay here all the time. So basically what I'm saying is, people use the upgrades. They are there for a reason. It is very nice to have them there and to play around with them as to what is the best upgrade in what possible situation there. Bam. Okay. Yes, I should put my minions in the row here.
Payday.
Should be another one. Orc Ironite. Here we go. Okay. So, you see that from my Hellforge, for example, they will go away and get their pay, they will get like beer, and this is pretty near to them, right? If they want beer, they can go here. If they want gold, they will go here. But what they can't really get is their boredom down. So boredom is reduced by either slapping your slots, which is pretty nice to see, but it also slows down the work of the slots with the snots, which is pretty important though. Everything fine here. Maybe kill off one of the invisible units here. Go, go, go. Here you go. That's it. Okay, so what we need to build is the second way to get boredom down is building a training room and some training stuff there. So we're building an arena, and of course normally you would build an arena like 3x3 or 5x5 to get the fighting pit in there and upgrade your units, but you really don't need to if you just want the arena to get the boredom down. You can also just build a small room here, just big enough to get the fitness station in it, and then your units will wander from the like whatever room is adjacent to it and work on the fitness station here to get their boredom down, and they'll be quick to go back to their room. Okay, Shadow Kali. Who's Shadow Kali? That would be me, though. Yeah, so that is one tip that I can give you. Of course, there's other stuff. Let me take a look. What can we do? Yeah, fitness stations. I'll talk about that. Yeah, beer. If you would be short on beer, like I have lots of beer, like in this game and at home, which is of course always a necessity. If you would be short on beer and you would need some time to produce more beer, or you're low on snot, so you just need to build a brewery and stuff like that, you can use your units to go to the Overworld, which I will do in just a second. I have some rock throwers and them. You go to the Overworld, and as long as they are on the Overworld, they don't, they will not go back to get beer or something like that. They will get a thirst for beer, but because they are kind of like on an away mission, they will not like be dependent on getting beer now. They will be very, very thirsty when they come back.
It's a little snot is secretly making jokes about the ultimate evil behind its back. You should punish it. But I forgot which one it was. They just all look the same.
They will be really thirsty when they come back, but in the meantime you can like build up your dungeon and produce more beer. So that is a very neat trick. It's kind of an exploit, I must say, but it's a neat trick. For those of you that haven't seen this map, it's a skirmish map called Morningwood, which was actually the pre-order DLC. So for all of you that didn't pre-order, tough luck. No, actually we are working on some on some additional skirmish maps and also multiplayer maps that we will give out for free, and they will have lots of cool stuff, let me tell you. I've seen some of them and they're very, very cool, and they have lots of cool ideas for future skirmish maps as well, and lots of other cool ideas as well. So, as on all maps in Morningwood, it's the same deal here. Go through the overworld, destroy everything, and evilify the overworld. So this sector is still good, but once I destroy everything in it, it will evilify. So there's a little small village here. Let's see. Bam, here you go. And there's a spawner building here, and a dwarf, and a catapult. And I have no healing units here, so that might get a little bit... No, I don't think that will be... That should work out pretty fine. Maybe my goblin here will die, but... Yeah, he died, but it's not a big deal, because beforehand I was... Oh, so nice. This is really nice, so... The whole sector evil fight, and I think, yes, this sheep is going down as well. Very nice. Work done here for the moment. I'll send my units back into the dungeon. I can do that by just clicking on the dungeon here, or I can just use the panic retreat spell, which a lot of people tend to ignore, but it is very nice. You can use a little bit of mana, and your units will quickly turn out to be in the dungeon again. And because I've built a hospital here beforehand and some defibrillators in here, my Gobobot here, Dangix, that has died on the overworld, is actually being revived here, which is very nice. So if you know that there are a lot of tough enemies on the overworld, be sure to build some defibrillators, or you will lose your upgraded units there. Of course, you can also use the panic retreat spell to like emergency get your units back to the dungeon, but only in areas on the overworld that you have already evilified. A very good tip that I can give you, that actually is important for each and every situation in a dungeon, is have enough snots. Like, snots are so important for everything that's done in the dungeon that you always need enough of them. And something that people always tend to forget is that you can produce units in stacks. Like, you can just like click 3 times on a snot unit and the throne room will produce like 3 units as time goes by. That was something that we introduced very late in the development cycle, like very soon, very short time before release. So there was no time to like implement a very tutorial-like thingy for that. But it is a very interesting thing, and it tends to make like building up your dungeon, especially in the early stages of the dungeon building, a lot quicker, which is nice. So I've reached the population cap here, which is 50 at the moment. And if you want to up your population cap, which a lot of people also, tend to not have a look at this, you can use the crystal chamber and your nagas to click on the increase maximum population points, and it is a research, so it takes some time, but especially in the campaign mission starting from like the 4th mission, you should take a look at that, and you should upgrade your population cap as soon as possible, so you can have enough workers and enough fighting units at the same time. Okay, let's talk a little bit about gold. You see that at this moment I have enough gold, but once you start your dungeon building empire, you are very dependent on gold. Like, pretty much everything in the game costs gold. Pretty much everything in the game costs gold. So you need to decide whether you want to dig out normal gold veins like this one, or if you will rely on like the rich gold veins that you have here. Like rich gold veins give you a constant amount of gold, which is smaller than the amount that you get one time off of the normal gold veins. But
Payday.
regardless of that, you might have a better and more constant gold income by mining them instead of mining light gold veins, which are very far away. So you might have an idea of, yeah, I will use I will dig out the whole dungeon. Like here is more gold that I can come by very, very quickly. Like just dig this out. It will give you a large amount of gold for one time digging it out. Instead of using this nearby rich gold veins, which could take a while. But people tend to forget that walking down here, digging this out, and then bringing it back to, like, here, the treasury or the throne room or stuff like that, will take the snots a long while.
Heroes
so,
have entered your dungeon.
you need to take a close look at what your snots are doing, where they are going, and how long it takes them to do just that. Let's see. Okay. There are some pesky units coming in here as well. But I think my units will be quick to handle them. There's the Naga Medusa fighting against the invisible units as well. And my boulder is running over most of the stuff here. That is very nice. I must say, the setup is very nice. Okay. Let's see, what else have we got? So what else have we got? What people tend also to forget is that each and every room gets an upgrade when the dungeon level reaches tier 2. And it improves the efficiency of the room tremendously. So normally a Tinker's Cave would produce toolboxes with the normal Creator Mate here, which is like 350 gold. But once you reach dungeon level 2 or 3, I don't remember exactly, but I think it's on dungeon level 2, then you can create an improved Creator Mate, which costs 900 gold. I must admit that's pretty expensive, but it's worth it because it produces much quicker toolboxes, and it looks neat as well. Like with the little furry here running around. Nice. And this is actually true for most of the rooms. For example, I still have this crystal chamber, which is not upgraded. It's like, it produces mana, and I don't use that much mana at the moment. But you can also upgrade this to a mana shrine. So if you put a mana shrine on the mana crystal here, then like not only one Naga can work on the crystal,
payday.
but 2, 3, or 4 Nagas can work on that crystal, which increases tremendously the amount of mana that you can produce.
Heroes have entered your dungeon.
So the attacks seem to get more drastic here. My snots are having a hard time keeping up with repairing the traps, and the invisible units are still like running amok across my dungeon here. But I think for the time being, I am pretty safe. I'm pretty safe here. Yes. Kill them off. Nice. Also, sniping units like a Bard or stuff like that with the lightning bolt is a very valid approach to defending a dungeon. Like, you can just snipe out a Bard, and the rest of the units will have no choice but to walk through your defenses. Okay, let's see. Got the dungeon going here. We have stuff to do, and basically the economy is running right. Everyone has beer, everyone has gold. So let's see if we can wreak some havoc on the overworld here. There is a group of units coming in here. Damn, there's a lot of units. Let's see if I come them. And once I have done that, then I will start an attack. I will up the ante on my my snots here. 10 to 15 snots are basically a must in a bigger dungeon like this to keep maintenance going on most of the stuff that is around here. I think I will also upgrade this thresher here. Come on, to a bigger thresher, like the improved thresher TM. Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do. And my snots will be quick to run there with. Here's little snot, Snuffle the little snot coming up with a toolbox, placing it beneath the place where the thresher should be built, and getting another one because that's a really strong trap here that needs to be built. Also upping the pop cap here. I think 60 is the maximum at the moment. Thinking about changing it, not at the moment. Okay. Okay, let's see. That is going pretty well. Just let's see if we can, like... Oh, there's the bot. Very nice. Let's see. So the bot didn't even have time to
Enemies
like,
have entered the dungeon.
disarm any trap, because the rolling boulder trap was going off even beforehand. And all the units now want to like open the chest, and they're being killed off as well. The bard is killed off as well, and it seems there is no way this group is going to be able to get past this. I'm sniping down the rest of the stuff here. The paladin here is very nice because he's kind of he has a buff for the whole group that they will be shielded from some attacks, but not from all attacks. And I think it will be easy to get him killed with some strong orc units here. And then by the time that is done, I will go to the overworld and make some havoc there. A lot of people didn't realize, or we didn't really tell you, that Dungeons 2 features a lot of the normal like RTS gameplay control mechanisms that you know from lots of RTS games. For example, I now have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units on my hand. I will put them outside. Get them there. Yeah, so now they will be on the overworld, and I can just drag drag around them and walk with them around. And I can also give them a move thing here and an attack move, which will give them the opportunity to attack everything inside until they reach that point. I can also use Control 1 to make a control group of this. You can't really see that because I don't have like a webcam here, which is probably for the better of you all. But I have pressed Control 1, and now I'm pressing 1, and I have the whole group here as well, or again, and I can walk around with them. I can, of course, also click on, like, double-click on one of the orcs, and it selects the 2 orc chieftains that I have in this group, and I can walk around with them. And I can also like double-click on the orc Ironhides and choose them. So double-clicking actually selects all of the units of the same type in the vicinity. So I can use like I can use control groups. I can also, like, if I would be somewhere else, I can double-click on the one, and the camera automatically jumps to this control group. But a very neat thing that is practically a little bit hidden here is I can...
After a little personal tasting session, you will be pleased to hear that the beer in your brew is not too bad at all.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, another thing that is practically a little bit hidden, but is very nice as well, is that you can, like, also take all of your units in your hand, or a group of units, and then press Control 1 or 2 or stuff like that, and leave them be. And if you then go back to the overworld and press 2 and press like tell this group to go here, they will actually wander out of the dungeon and onto where you have told them to go. So control groups work on the overworld as well as in the dungeon. That is very very good if you want to like create attack groups or like a quick attack group in your dungeon while you are not attacking at the moment. And that is actually something that, yeah, we didn't really communicate, but it is in the game, and pro players should really make use of that. There is another group of attackers coming in here. They are shielded by the paladin, and they have a bard with them. It's practically very much the same group than beforehand. They have some pixies, they have Amazon warriors there, and a paladin and a bard. And let's see if they can make it through this trap here as well. So they're being
Heroes have entered your dungeon.
they're being taken out. So most of the units are already taken out
There
by
are
the first
enemies
trap.
in your dungeon.
And I don't think. Oh, what are you doing here? He's been chimed, but they'll be gone. Try to keep your goblins out of the fray at the very beginning, because they tend to be very outgoing and want to be in the fight, but they're not very effective if not like micromanaged a little bit, or if being put into the fray with some other orcs or trolls and stuff like that. So there is like this attack is pretty much over, and I want to start an attack on the overworld now. So I still have my control group 2 here. The units will go through here. I think they will make short notice of the paladin while they are there. Here we go. That's the paladin.
Payday.
Oh, sorry. Ah, yeah. Okay, so they will make short use of the paladin. They did that, and now I'm ordering them to come out here. There is a lot of this control stuff in the game that that actually is there, but we're not shoving that into your face. But maybe we can, like, in the future explain this stuff a little bit more so it gets clearer. So now I have my control group here. I'm starting my attack on the overworld. You see that there are 2 spots here that are marked with a red sign, and that are actually the spots if you destroy everything that is there, like do the mission objective that is there, that will give you then that will give you evilness, which you need to upgrade your throne room, which I don't need at the moment because I've already started the game with like dungeon level 2 or 3. There is an end here. Ends are very strong units, but they are no match for my units at the moment. Bam. And then there's a pixie as well. Let's get rid of her. Bam. What kind of game modes are there? So aside from the campaign, there is a skirmish mode, which is what I am playing right now. And the skirmish mode, you can also set that to endless mode, so it kind of acts like a sandbox mode in which you can pretty much like build your dungeon all the way you want. And then there is multiplayer mode, which includes deathmatch, king of the hill, domination, and team domination and team deathmatch. So here I found a medal or a perk which gives one of my units a regeneration rate of 2. We use these medals to give our units a lot of uniqueness here. So Rihannak here will take the medal, and now he's called by everyone Rihannak, him with the healing flash, and he of course has like a regeneration rate of 2. Okay, here we go. Let's go on a little bit. Also, if you have like a multi-selection, this is what we call a multi-selection, you can pretty much click on each and every of these oh, there's a bard coming. Oh god! That will be really hard. That will be really hard. Let's see if I can get these down. Bam, here you go. That will be hard. That will be hard. So I got some of my units killed, but they will be revived in the dungeon. And maybe I'll get my other units back as well, because they are taking a lot of damage here. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Getting them out of the fray. I've killed some mages here. I've killed off the bard, which is pretty nice. And I can also use my spells here to kill off maybe the pixies or the mages here. So the more I have like uncovered an evil fight of the overworld, the quicker I can actually react to attacks on my dungeon, because I can cast everywhere on the overworld that I have evil fight. Okay, let them come into my dungeon. I don't think they can do a lot of damage, but they have already done a lot of damage to my away team here. But they will eventually like recover. That's not a big problem there. Okay. I have some. Oh, there's some questions here, something like that. Yeah, PvE is skirmish and campaign. We are thinking of additional game modes though, but we can't really promise anything. There are ideas
there
for
are
like
enemies in your dungeon.
There are ideas for a survival mode, for example, or a cooperative skirmish mode in which like 2 players would try to conquer like this overworld, for example. But we can't really promise anything on that. If we can make it fun, then we will implement it. If that's not the case, then it doesn't make sense. So yeah, that is pretty much done for, and I think I should get my units out as quickly as possible to start a counter-attack. Most of them have already been healed here, and the rest of them will be healed by my Nagas on the overworld. Oh, yeah, he's done for, but he'll be dragged to the overworld by my smots. And now let's go to the overworld and see if we can evilify another sector here. Bop, bop, bop. Here you go. Did I say that you can double-click on each of these portraits? Oh, auto-saving, right. Each of these portraits to select that specific unit in the multi-selection. Come on. But the saving is still a little slow, but it's still better than not having auto-saving in the game. But it will eventually get a little bit quicker. So you auto-select this, or this, or this. Not auto-select. You are able to select each and every unit in that group by double-clicking on it, and then you have just that group. Also, pressing space to see all the health bars here, not only those of the units that have been attacked, works in the dungeon as well as here. Payday. You've just seen that Payday gives units their pay on the overworld automatically. That may be a little bit confusing, but it's still better than having all your units that you need to like destroy the overworld running back to your dungeon each time there is a payday. So we implemented that to be like automatically on the overworld. So there's a cute little bunny. Let's kill that. Nice, here you go. Okay. There's a small outpost here of alliance groups, and it seems that we can't get a lot further than here because there's only wood here. There's no way to go through here. But once we evilify this sector, bam, you see that at the same time they spawned a group here. And let's see if we can get this down, but I don't think that will be the case. Still, Nice fight here going on. I'm doing everything I can to use magic to get my units going here. Using a Warcry spell here as well to get my units stronger, but still these alliance troops did a lot of damage to my away crew. 3 of them died, but it's fine. They did a good job here. Nice work, guys. Let's let them heal a little bit here. There is a small there's a small lake here. Let's see what that is for. Let my Naga heal them a little bit here. Maybe get some reinforcements from inside the dungeon. They are still healing, but still healing as well. Okay, so just this Gobobot will be a nice addition to my roster here. Okay, that one is coming around as well. Nice. And the Gobobot as well. So, in addition to control groups and having them like just being like one group, you can also like up the control group. So I now have these selected, and I do control 1 and have them in the control group. Well, there are some units like slamming behind here, and I can just use Shift and add them to the control group. Shift and add this to the control group.
Payday.
And then pressing Control 1 again will then make a control group of all these units. There is a dwarven warrior, a dwarven high king here that is protecting this lake, and he's like living together with this bard family, which is pretty strange, but who am I to judge? So, killing off this one, and then the bard will evilify this sector. There's another bard here as well. I'll pick up I picked up the health potion as well, and there is another regenerator perk here as well, which I will use for my other Orc Ironhide, because their health is pretty high with 422, and it will otherwise take a very long time for them to recover. Partially ignore armor is also very nice for Zenkaijo here, the Throw Rock Trow, because he does a lot of damage with his rocks that he throws, and that will be really cool if he ignores armor then. So let's see how we can go on here. There is a small alliance camp here. It is not very strongly so the defense is not very strong, just a pixie and some archers and Amazon warrior here. We can do this. Okay, and then let's get down to business here and kill the spawner building here, and then evilify everything here. Nice. This is going to be like my summer residence and stuff like that. I don't know. Okay, heal my units, go on. Yeah. Okay, so there's another path through the woods here that has opened up, and in the upcoming skirmish maps we try to do a little more crazy stuff, like with changing Overworld and stuff like that, and more like side quest up and down stuff. And I think you will all like what is upcoming there. It's really a lot of cool stuff upcoming there. So yeah, there's a small pixie building here as well. I will be sure to get rid of that, and then that actually opens up another path through the woods here. And now we get to this is a druid circle, right? Kill off the bunny first. Kill off the bunny. Not that it becomes a killer bunny or something like that. So there's a my units have been routed by the druids here, and they're sending out some.
Have begun to make their way to the ultimate evil's dungeon.
They are sending out some wild animals because they're really pretty nature lovers and stuff like that. And I can use spells here because this area is not yet evilified. Let's see if I can get rid of those druidess units because they are really like putting me in place. I can't move because of them, so I need to kill them off first. My rock thrower is doing a good job here, but now the warden is starting like an ice shower here, and that pretty much is very dangerous for my units. Kill off the last druidess here as well, and then the warden needs to go down. Absolutely. Again, she's like chanting and getting an ice shower down here, and then teleporting away, so that my units need to be in ice and then try to get there. And they're being slowed down tremendously. If I still had an Orc Chieftain here, which died unfortunately, but he'll be back in my dungeon, then he could help me with like the Warcry spell, which kind of tries to suppress negative effects on my units. But I think I'll get down this warden eventually, because my Orc Ironhide's also strong here. Okay, and that's for the warden, and that's pretty much for this pixie village here. So, 3-player deathmatch map, or bots. 3-player deathmatch map eventually. I think we can get that to work. Bots, not at the moment. That is actually a very complicated thing, even though it might not seem that way. But we will get... Yeah, I don't think that we can do that at the moment. But a 3-player deathmatch map, why not? That could be done, yes. You can also see that because I still have the control group here, I can order my units to come here, and then they will start to walk from the dungeon as well. There should be some units walking here as well. Yes, they will go out here. I will need the rock thrower and the other the other Naga as well, and maybe Dangix should meet me on top as well. Where are you going? Come on outside. Okay, so we have these units. These units and pretty much everything
payday.
On the other side here, and let's get these units together. Heal them a little bit. Maybe not in the direct vicinity of the front line. And maybe upgrade Orlandok here, this Orc, to an Orc Ironhide as well. Nice. Okay. This should work nicely. They are still very much like hurt here, but because I have two like Naga queens here, they will be quick to heal the units around them once they stop walking and they are in a bulk here. Okay. Doesn't mind for Rihannak here, my friend, because he's still recovering on his own. But now the Naga units should start like healing themselves and the units around them. First of all, themselves. It's like if you go into an airplane, like first oxygen mask for yourself, and then for your kids and the people around you. My defenses work pretty well here. That is nice. But you of course need stuff to get that going. Like you need enough toolboxes, you need the snots, enough snots, but they have not that much to do here. You can also see, while these are now recovering at the moment, you can also see that most of my dungeon has already been outfitted by my units to look like a badass orc dungeon. Some of you have voiced the concern that the orc, like the dungeon fortifying, like the outfitting of the walls, will override how cool the room looks like with the Tinkerer's Cave here. Like some of the props are being taken away. We are working on that, so normally it should take away the props a little bit, but not all of it, so that the room still looks very unique. There is actually now a group attacking me here, and I think I'll just place my units here and wait for them to go past, so they will not be like shredded to pieces by the attack group of the Alliance, because the attack group of the Alliance should be shredded to pieces by my defenses. I can though already like kill off some of the units here with the spell. Goodbye to the Paladin. Some of the units lost their shield there, but there is another Paladin here somewhere. Yeah, there he is.
It's payday.
Is there a bot here as well? Yeah, so much for the bot. And if the bot's not there... Oh, interesting. They they actually noticed that my units are here. Ah, no, they wanted to take this route. Let's see. Okay. They wanted to take this route. I couldn't hide. No matter. I couldn't hide. But I will be quick to like send these back to the dungeon and then get them back to... Oh! Ha! Can take the other route as well. Yeah. Like, where's the other Paladin? There he is. You can also lock on with spells like these, like the lightning bolt, to the unit if you just keep the mouse button pressed for it. So now my group has circumvented them. But I'm out of mana, which happens a lot if you like get all your units out to the overworld and not take care of your economy in the dungeon. Like, I have all my Nagas with me on the outside because I wanted to make a big attack, but because of that I don't have mana to kind of kill off units when they attack my dungeon and stuff like that. Which can kind of F me up, but shouldn't be a big problem because I have good defenses there as well. So, okay, here we go. Let's see. Oh, some of my units died.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Nixit was trying to like get the walls better here, but he managed to get himself killed as well. Okay, I think the Paladin kind of one-offed, yes, and the rest of the units will be done very quickly. Oh, my gobblebolts here have stormed ahead, which is not that cool. Okay, here we go. So much for that dwarf, so much for that pixie. And then there's another dwarf here. So goblins, this might seem like fragile, but the gobblebot in particular can deal mass damage to a lot of enemies, and he can kind of ignore ranged attacks as well. I have opened up a passageway to like this exit here. Let's see where that leads. Just take like one unit first. Let's see where that leads. And it actually opened up a new path to my dungeon, which is pretty nice because now I don't need to walk all the way across the map to get here. I can just use this exit. Pretty nice. But I just first needed to find this. So now it gets interesting. There are two ways to go here. Let's take the upper way here. Okay, there's a druidess here again, rooting my gobblebots, and there's a bard healing units, and then there are some small units that protect this small village here. They won't be a big threat, but actually there are some of these, like these bowfighter units, like the elven warriors, and they shoot poisonous arrows. So if I'm not careful with my units, they can take like damage over time by the poison and be killed without me even knowing. There's a bot as well hiding behind there. he's gone. And there's a Pikini as well, and he will be done for as well. Am I missing something? There should be... Oh, there's a mage here, hiding on this lush green field, being killed off very, very quickly. Nice, thank you. Okay, here we go. Those horses are blocking the way, though. No, no man. Okay. So now I see the these woods. Oh, I've opened up the new way, and now it gets interesting, because the Alliance actually has found out about this as well. And they are spawning units and bringing them to my dungeon from the other side. And that is not really good for me, because I haven't managed to build up any defenses here. So they can just storm into my dungeon. I have no mana, and my units will take some time to get back into my dungeon as well. I can't use the panic retreat button here, and they shouldn't have long to get into my dungeon. Let's see, maybe I can, I don't know, maybe I'll be down here. So, I will need to use all my units here to get this going, but I hope I can manage to repel this attack. And then I need to really up my ante on the defenses on the upper right side of the map. There is a troll rock thrower here as well. That should come into the fray, but it does not look very good for me. Let's see. Maybe we can do this. Come on, guys, we can do this. We can do this. A quick match at the moment is always 1 versus 1. Yes. And we have made the change since today that it will not be a death match. Instead, it will be a domination match, which is a quicker match. So that is what you want, right? You want a quicker match if you press quick match, and that is actually what we're giving you then. Okay. Okay. So I need to up my ante here on the defenses here, because that was really close encounter here. I will use whatever toolboxes I have here and start producing more stuff. Something that most people don't see is that there's more mouse overs for pretty much everything in the game. Like, there is a mouse over for the gold that shows you not only how much gold you have, but how much gold you can store, what your wages are each payday, and when the next payday will be. There is mana and max mana. There is a tooltip for toolboxes, but also about how many toolboxes are reserved for traps and doors. Like, I have 26 toolboxes and they are being produced, but still I need some of these for like building these traps, for example. Also, beer is the same way, but beer is pretty simple. Like, you have enough beer, all of your units will not be thirsty. Okay, that was really close. So I hope not to have one of those again. But yeah, I need to up my ante here. Building some more traps, and then I need to continue the attack. But I think I'll keep some of my producing units here.
A Secret Service spy approached you, wanting to have the usage data on all your monsters. Unfortunately, there's not a lot left of him after your orcs chewed his... Oh, I can't read that.
Okay, take this Naga and a healing Naga, but not much more, so they will still be able to produce mana in the dungeon, and to produce toolboxes, so the goblins stay in the dungeon as well. I'll take... They are already coming again. So this map is pretty much very hard, but that is a good... there's a good point to see if my new defenses work. Let's see. Killing off the... do they have a bard here? No, I don't think so. Which is good. Which is very good. Let's see if my defenses work. And then I pick up all of these and make a control group out of
There
them.
are enemies in your dungeon.
Okay, make a control group out of these, and once the attack is repelled, then yeah, I don't think this will be a problem. Bam, so much for this attack. Probably the best time to start an attack is when you have just successfully repelled an attack onto your dungeon, because that means that's you have the most time to attack until the next wave of enemies spawns. What's this? What's this medal doing? Tough guy, health points plus 50%. Maybe that is pretty good for our Naga, so she doesn't need to heal herself that much. Okay, here we go. Let's go on here. You see, there's another wave coming. Damn, they are very quick. But I've done I've done my homework, and they will be repelled by my traps here as long as I kill off that bard. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, he's been healed by the pixie. Come on, kill. Nice, very good. So, you see that this area of the overworld is already becoming a little bit more darker, and here is what we...
There are enemies in your dungeon.
We see why that is. There are some undead here that kind of lurking around here, having evil fight this area in their own pretense. There are skeleton archers here. There are some zombies, and they have already made quite a nice place here. There's a zombie there as well, having a nice head, but not having much to do against my units here. There's another zombie here as well.
Payday.
And there's kind of a crypt here that I'll be now invading and see where that leads. Zombies, skeleton archer, a nice unit, very nice. And another skeleton archer as well here. They're worshipping like the skeleton dead, but I can keep this interior for me. Works for me as well. Who's the fat orc unit? The fat orc unit is not an orc unit. He's the troll juggernaut. He has a lot of health points, and he has this nice giant club that he can use to clobber down enemies. So, let's see where this leads us. You see that if you go into a neutral dungeon, like this catacomb here, your units will appear in the region tab on the left-hand side. And if you click on that, you can go inside that dungeon. Okay, so this is something to explore. Like, here are some undead here, and we will be... I'm interested in what we can find here in this dungeon. We want to include like side quests like this in a lot of more skirmish maps, and if you have any suggestions for like maps or stuff that we should put into the game or stuff like that, then please feel free to go to the Steam forums and go into a thread that I have aptly named the suggestions thread, and just post your suggestions there. I know that thread is giant, and there is a lot of stuff in there, and there is also a lot of stuff in there that we practically cannot bring into the game, because there is, well, not everything is possible, right? But be assured that we read everything in there, and we will try to like implement as much stuff that that players want. Also, feel free to just, if you read an idea that is really cool and that that you want into the game, just feel free to write like +1 or something like that, so we know that how many people really love that idea. Okay, here we go. Bam, bam, bam. Put special units in the dungeons? Yeah, that's a good idea. We already have that in one of the campaign missions where you get the first Orc Chieftain. You'll really get them at the end of a like trap-ridden dungeon. Oh, looks like this. This is a necromancer with a lot of enemy units here. And let's see if we can overcome them. I don't think that should be a problem, but it's very interesting. Like this area is very interesting. Okay, the necromancer takes some time, but he'll go down eventually. That's it. Nice. Still one. Okay, here we go. Take this healing potion here, so my units are healed. Some reds, nobody cares. More healing, more zombies. Okay, and now you see there is an exit here. Let's get rid of these archers and see where this exit leads. And actually that exit leads us to the Overworld again. And we are kind of in the back of the Alliance. Like, this is the backyard of the castle that is kind of like the ultimate goal to be destroyed in this mission. So once you take the time to really complete side quests and complete them as best as possible, then you kind of open up new ways to create to overcome the main objective, which is, I think, pretty nice for all of us RTS players here. So now I'm attacking the final city here. I could have come from here and fight all the way through, but now I have to fight Krotos here, who is a demigod and kind of as a shield. Like, if I can't kill his fellows beforehand, then he will be immune to me, to my attacks. But now his shield is down. I need to get rid of him quickly. But he has a lot of health points, of course. And maybe I'll also get rid of this poison shooting arrow thingy here. And now he's resurrected all of his friends here as well. So I need to kill those again to get his shield down. But eventually, I think that should be saving. Very nice. In the middle of a boss fight, but better saving than not saving. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. So this could take some time. Yeah. This could take some time until he's down. But it's the boss fight, right? It shouldn't be very quick to do. Let's see. Alright, maybe I should get one of my units to attack this
Payday.
Okay. This fortification here, because it really hurts my units while they're attacking demigod. Okay, here we go. This. Okay, good. My Naga is coming in here to save the day, but this poison arrow is shooting elf boys down there and rooting me. I think they will be able to get this unit down. If not, my Naga is constantly healing it. And still the demigod is in best health. Well, not best, but for me it's still too much health. I think Orlando is going down here. Because... the demigod is down. Very nice. Very nice. So my units can kind of take care of these poison...
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Here, and we can take down the castle as well.
Enemies have
Hey,
entered
come on,
the dungeon.
Castle. Bam. So that would pretty much be the end of the mission, but there are some units lingering around here, and they will be hard to kill. They will be hard to kill, but still, still, I need to fight through this castle there because the skirmish maps are only over if you like killed the main objective and killed off everything else. So while the skirmish maps that are in the normal version of the game are still, they are very easy, particularly easy for a skilled player. But as you can see with this map, we will try to up the ante with the coming
Enemies
maps.
have entered the dungeon.
Like, we didn't want to be a lot of people to be frustrated at the beginning, but we will get some more challenging maps out to all you folks out there as well, so that you will have a challenge there. Not much going on here anymore. I will need to clean out these units here until I have won the map. So if you have any questions during that time, please feel free to ask them. I can see your chat. Okay, there is a catapult over here that I haven't seen. I need to kill that. Okay, there's a mage here, we'll get that down. So, as said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them.
Payday.
The only thing you regret about this game is that you didn't pre-purchase it. Yeah, I regret that too. But rest assured, we'll have more cool maps like this one coming up. There is a lot of cool stuff that we will bring to the game, and I really look forward to show you these maps that will come to the game and the cool ideas that they have. And basically there are a lot of ideas that will be brought into the game that were introduced by you, like by the community, right? It's like there's a lot of stuff input in the forums and everything, and we love to hear all your suggestions for more maps and stuff like that. You'll pay €5 for that map? I don't think so. Like, there will be, if we put this map out for like €5, there will be a lot of people being disappointed or pissed about that, and I can understand that. It's a nice map, but it's not like €5. Is it a big company who made this game or a small company? I think Bernd or our PR guys can answer that question the best in the chat. This archer here is going down as well. There shouldn't be much left to do. Oh, there's a church here that I need to destroy. Okay, so this is evil fight, this is evil fight, this is evil fight. Most everything is evil fight. I kinda ignored the perks there because I'm strong enough on my own here. Some of my units are dying. Ah, because they wanted to get through here. Yeah, I can see that. I need to micromanage my units better. I'm a sucker at this game. Okay, so there's one small thing here that is not evil
And the
fight.
weather for today, cloudy with a chance of bloodthirsty orcs.
Yes, that is actually the case. There's a small church here that needs to be evilfied as well. And that was actually the spawner point for all this crusade that was going on in my dungeon. Did we fix the narrative repeating? Yes! I don't think you have seen any double things in this, or heard any double things in this playthrough. Yes, we did some changes to the narrator repeating itself, but of course those are random lines. He can always repeat himself, but I think we have found a good balance there. Okay, here we go. There are some rats there as well, and I need to kill them, I think, which is fine. And those are coming into my dungeon again. Is there a bot in there? No, I think so. I don't think so. Totally fine. You! Stay out of the fray!
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Yes, I know.
Enemies
So
have
this
entered
might be
the
the
dungeon.
last attack from them. Oh, they have a bard as well. I didn't see. They have two bards. Like, come on, do the bot, man. Just a tad too slow to get him down. I could have researched better spells though, but I made it. And now I think the last unit here is a spider, a small spider here, an enemy. How comes that Dungeons 2 is the better dungeons you develop compared to Dungeons 1? Well, because we listened to everything that people said and tried to make a better game. I understand that it's not often the case that developers are really able to get a second chance, right? To make everything better in the second game. Or to make a similar game again, but we really tried to listen to everything that you guys wanted from a dungeon management game, and then just do that. It is not exactly easy to do all of that, but that's what we did, and I think it worked out pretty well.
It's payday.
I'm not quite sure why I haven't... Oh, of course I didn't win. Normally I would have won this map now, right? But I have put this map to endless mode because I didn't know how long I would play this, and that is actually why the map doesn't end, and I can still outfit my dungeon as best as I want. We want to change endless mode so that even if you have evil fight the whole overworld, there will still be some spawner buildings that spawn endless waves of endless waves of enemies into your dungeon, so that you still have a challenge when upgrading your dungeon. Okay, so okay, cool. Do you know Dungeon Keeper 1 or 2? If you do, what do you think about them compared to your own games? Of course we know Dungeon Keeper 1 and 2. What do you think? And basically they are classics, right? I've said that in some interviews as well. Dungeon Keeper 1 and 2 are classics for a reason, and you don't just go out and say, yeah, we are making the same game as Dungeon Keeper, and that is not what we set out to do. Dungeons is a game by its own right, and I think we have managed to get very cool stuff in it with the overworld and a very own art style and a very own humor that sets it apart from most of the other dungeon management games and from like the classics like Dungeon Keeper 1 and 2. But of course we kind of worship the old games, and that is not an underestimation. I have a question after playing this wonderful game. Should I give a chance to Dungeons 1 or it's much worse? You should, of course, play Dungeons 1, but you don't need to play Dungeons 1 to understand what is going on in Dungeons 2. We tell you everything that is important story-wise and stuff like that. Any more questions while I just casually stroll around here and show you cool things inside my dungeon? Maybe I can dig a little bit more in the southern direction here and find anything there. And here as well. So this is like, these are like granite, strong rock, and a small passage there. That kind of means, most of the time it means that there's something hidden here because the level designer wanted to shove you in that direction. Let's see what's there.
Payday. A room filled with undead was
Oh,
unearthed.
there's some undead here. Sometimes you find good things, sometimes you find undead, right? But not a big deal here. Will you also add a torture chamber to convert enemies to friends? We have a torture chamber in the game that is with the demon faction. There's a demon faction stream up there on the side as well. But it doesn't convert enemies. But we have some ideas for that. Maybe a jail or something like that for future iterations. But at the time, no converting enemies, because we had the goal that enemies should never be a resource. Because they were in Dungeons 1 and most people didn't like that. How come they move faster? You mean like the snots and stuff like that? They move faster because I have researched an upgrade for them. Like, they encourage little snots. I've already researched like the 4th iteration of that, and that makes them extremely fast. So, guys, keep a look at the upgrades for each of your units. They'll help tremendously with building your dungeon. Also, upgrade your rooms as well. Like, you can use stack storage for your brewery, and it will just stack the beer barrels on top, so you can store more. One little thing that people always tend to forget is that if you're very annoyed that a unit doesn't do his work and just constantly running off to like getting gold or beer or stuff like that, you can just lock the doors. Basically, lock the doors, keep him inside, and it will do whatever you want it to do in that room. Also, if all your walls haven't been upgraded. Let's see. Is there a room that hasn't been upgraded? No, not at the moment. I have already upgraded everything here. Let's see. No, but if you wanted a room to be upgraded quickly, like the walls, then you could like throw a unit in there that can do nothing in that room. Like, you couldn't throw a tinkerer in the tinkerer's, like a goblin in a tinkerer's cave yet. Would have something to do there. But if there's nothing to do in the room for the unit, if it's not his production room, then it will start outfitting the walls because it can't go anywhere else. One function I think is missing. You can multi-select by keeping the left mouse button within the dungeon. I am not quite sure what you mean by that. It's like you can already like multi-select each and every unit by just picking up more of them. I'm not sure if that is what you mean. Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. Also, if some of you have encountered gold veins that have some jewels in them in skirmish mode, I don't think I can see one here at the moment, but in some of the skirmish maps that take a long time to complete, there is a jewel node hidden that actually is infinite gold. Can I control the ultimate evil and will it ever rise? Well, let's see. There is a high level spell here called Evil Strikes Back. And if I research that, let's get my nuggets to do this. Bam. I'll lock the door so it's quicker that she'll do that and give her a slap. If you research that, you can actually get him to rise for a short amount of time and destroy everything in his path. Oh, I see. Instead of picking them up always, just selecting a group of creatures by selecting an area within the old dungeon would be nice. Ha! Never thought of that. But we'll think about it. I wouldn't say that that's never coming, but I don't think there are any plans for this at the moment. You can, however, and that is something that also a lot of people tend to forget, you can use the rally flag, like the spell creator Horde, which kind of summons all your units to a special place. If you use that to and set it on the dungeon exit, then all your units will start running there, and they will start going to the overworld. Like, let's see. All of them are going to the overworld now, or just rallying to this flag, and once they got to the flag, like the point, they will automatically come to the overworld. Which is a neat little trick that a lot of people tend to forget. Up, and now they're here. I don't need them here at the moment, but just to show you what that can do. Let's see how far my Naga has fared here. That's still too long. Come on. Oh, she wants to get the ready flag as well. Okay. To get that away, you just have to click the ready flag again. So yeah, she's working on a spell again. Oh, okay, Dracula Jr., but usually I don't want always every creature to get anywhere. By forming groups, and a nicer way to select them to form groups, it's way smarter. Yeah, I don't know if you've been earlier here. I can actually produce groups of units inside the dungeon with Control 1, and then send them to the overworld. So if I would kind of, let's say, where are the others? So there's a goblin here, and there's a... And now I press Control 2, let them be, go to the overworld, and then press 2 again. I have selected just those two that I have just selected in the overworld, in the underworld, and click here or anywhere they should go, and they will start wandering to the outside. Just this group that I have. Yeah, okay. Okay, I see. The point was selecting, not grouping. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Yes, we'll be thinking about that. But as said, not at the moment. Is she? Yeah, she's still researching. Yeah, this is the highest level spell, so it will take some time to... Yes, you can save any group of units you want, physics. I know. I'm old. Oh, you see, because I've researched like stacking, like here, stack storage, they are now starting to like build the stacks of beer barrels here, being very artistically with it. Nice.
Your dungeon is full of yogurt. Yogurt? What's this all about? There's absolutely no yogurt. Oh, it's supposed to be a funny illusion, I see. very funny.
Yeah, we tried to make some. Yeah, what Dracula Jr. just pointed out is that will there be some improvements to the top menu, like this one up here? We tried to do some improvements based on the feedback that you guys have given us, and that that will come in the next patches, but we'll need some time for that to get that going right. So. Shisa here is pretty much upset because she can't go anywhere, but because I have this neat little brainwash trick, I just get her to work again. Any plans on adding some Dungeons 1 gimmicks? You know, I believe you're talking about like the gimmick stuff that you can place on walls and stuff like that. Not at the moment, because it was a lot of work for artists and stuff like that, or people like that. For very little effect. Okay, this spell should now be done. Let's see. Quickly. Okay, there's no enemies left to be slaughtered here. So I can just show you how the Dungeon Lord is appearing. Like, you can use... Let's put him here. You can use this spell. It takes up like 500 mana, but I have plenty of that. That's okay. And it has a cooldown of 180. So you can do this only very selectively. But it actually summons the Dungeon Lord, the Prime Evil here, and if enemies would wander down here, he would just slam them to the ground. And I actually got an achievement for that, which is pretty nice. Okay, he doesn't do anything at the moment because he's just standing around, minding his own business, because there's no threat to him, but he would be very, very strong to each and any enemy that would come into your dungeon.
Heyday!
Oh, great! Great, you gave us a review. Very nice. Yeah, if you guys like the game, then feel free to give us a positive review on Steam. If you don't like it, just stay away from the reviews. No, of course, each and everyone is entitled to his opinion, and we love to hear them all. So just use that. Thank you very much. Horokarila. I hope I have spelled that correctly. Okay, I think I have pretty much shown you what I was about to show you today. We will try to make more streams in the coming weeks and show you some stuff that is coming in the upcoming patches as well. I think that would be very interesting for you. So if you still have any questions, feel free to ask them. And otherwise, thank you very much for playing the game. Thank you very much for having a look at our nice little stream here, and feel free to come again next time.